How are cars produced? What parts will be used? Today, I will continue to take you to understand the whole process of automobile assembly. This is the fourth production line in the final assembly workshop. Here the body is integrated with the car chassis. Some basic assembly will be done before combining. First, install bumper guide brackets on both fenders. The side edge of the bumper is stuck on the bracket. Then card 6 insert nuts on the inside of the front wheel cover. When installing the wheel cover, hit the screw on the mounting nut. And then there's the process holes of the chassis that are installed, and the process holes are crossed, and the first is to drain the water out of the pool. The second is to facilitate cavity wax construction. It's useless here. Then card the main silencer insulation net. It can effectively prevent the heat from the exhaust gas from being transferred to the car body. The entire exhaust pipe will basically be installed with a heat insulation net, and then they attach a brake U-tube clip to the rear wheel, and check the air conditioner dropper drain. Then install a U-tube stand. The stand can fix U-tube to the chassis to avoid shaking. Then the chassis is combined. To bind means to marry in German. It is to combine the sub-packaged chassis assembly with the body. Then the vehicle will enter the chassis tightening station. Tighten the chassis screws. Now let's take a look at which screws the chassis is fixed with the body. The first thing to tighten is the rear axle short nails. After putting the screws, the equipment will automatically tighten them, one on the left and one on the right. Then, apply the 2 connecting rod screws connecting the engine to the subframe. The connecting rod holds the engine in place lengthwise. Avoid back and forth swings. The next employee then installs 3 wheel cover insert nuts and fasten it with a hammer. Then put on 4 shaft seat screws. The body is mainly lifted on the rear axle by the axle seat. Put on 2 more and slide the screw. Then the vehicle enters the next position to tighten the subframe screws. The subframe is fixed to the car body by a screw on the left and right side beams and 6 screws at the bottom. Then the fixed middle channel insulation plate. Most of the insulation boards are held by this clip. At the same time, the equipment at the rear of the car will automatically tighten the 8 shaft screws on the left and right sides. In addition, the employees of the platform on the second floor are not idle either. Here will be installed the front suspension screws on the left and right sides, as well as the rotary screws for the transmission and engine. The front suspension supports the body. These 3 grams of screws will be automatically tightened later. After screwing, cover the decorative cover. Then put on the transmission screw and the engine screw. The entire engine and transmission are suspended from the left and right pillars by these 4 screws. EC wrench is required to tighten and fix the transmission and engine screws. Here are 2 wrenches used at the same time to save time. Then the robot automatically tightens the front suspension screws. The robot uses a German KUKA robot. Ningjing wrench uses Atlas EC wrench. The front suspension is McPherson independent suspension. Then tighten the rear axle screws and rear slider screws. The main function of the rear slide column is to limit the up and down swing of the body. 2 rear axle screws on the left and right below. The main function is to fix the rear axle and the body together. Now the middle bridge plate screws are tightened. The function is to support and fix the middle channel thermal insulation tile. In addition to this, the rear axle screws will also be tightened. Connecting rod screws and rear silencer screws. Then tighten the 4 screws that hold the fuel tank. The fuel tank uses a resin fuel tank, can hold up to 50 liters of gasoline, can run 1,000 kilometers. Finally, put on 2 fuel tank head screws. The gas goes into the tank through this pipe. Need to tighten with EC wrench. Here, the chassis of the car is connected to the body. Do you know how many bolts were punched in total? Pallet separation will be performed next. The pallet can be lowered with the help of an auxiliary manipulator. Separate the tray. Then it will go to the lower wing bow position for installation of the bottom guard and bottom wiring harness. Follow me in the next episode, and then take you to understand the whole process of car assembly.